try you again.
Right, stop lolloping about then. Get near your mic.
Lollop.
Right. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wait, should we do that again, but do it together?
What?
Say Merry Christmas.
Oh, all right.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And Merry Christmas. That's creepy, but yeah. Okay.
Yes, well, here we are.
Oh, yeah, love. Sorry it's been so long. It's my fault entirely, ladies and gents.
Oh.
And others.
Well, I wouldn't say fault.
Right.
I'll say it's not really a matter of fault, is it? Blame or credit. I mean, I'm just saying.
Fucking hell. As you can see, nothing's changed.
We can't. It's so long. We can't even remember, can we?
Remember what?
Oh dear.
Tish push bibble. Right. Okay.
You started it.
How you been, love?
Talking about. Not too bad. I mean, you carry on, don't you?
You do. Well, you got no choice. Well, you do.
As best you can.
You could end it.
Well, you have, I think, rather than you do.
You do have a choice.
One does have a choice. Yes. Yes. I can allow that.
Dickhead.
Why haven't we done this more often?
I don't. It's weird, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because we get on so well.
But yes, you've been busy.
I've been very busy. Yeah. Yes. God help me.
God.
I'll tell you what else happened to me. Well, I've got a little story for you.
All right. Do you want to record this?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Not bad.
Oh,
it just amused me, and I thought it might amuse you.
Yes, I'm sure it.
So it was my brother's anniversary on November the 22nd.
Yes.
Of his death. And what I normally do, hypocritically, admittedly, is pop to a sort of religious place and light a candle or whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the punch.
So, November the 22nd this year, I was at work. So I was in Nottingham working. And so there wasn't a church around anywhere. The nearest place was the Salvation Army.
What, a sort of Salvation Army
with a sort
meeting
of hall in it, like a church. Yeah,
they don't have their own churches, do they?
No,
do they?
But, it's a bit like that. Yeah,
they're not a sect in themselves, are they?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, I ran over at lunchtime. Didn't have long, sort of half an hour or so. Ran over to the Sally Army. They were just closing the door, and I went, "Oh, do you mind if I, explain the situation? I'd like to come in and light a candle." And they went, "Oh, we don't have candles, of course, because it's the Sally Army. They don't have popish things like candles."
Yes, it's a bit high.
It is a bit high, actually. Anyway, so what the guy said to me was, "I'll take you into what he called the church, anyway," and said, "What we do have is a tree of remembrance." And I went, "Oh, lovely, okay." So he took me in, and I sort of sat down and had some thoughts, as one does on these days. And then he brought over a little sort of star-shaped card for me to write James's name on, and then we'd hang it on the tree, kind of thing,
Yeah.
Quite sweet. Yeah. And so I wrote James's name down, and then he walked me over to this tree, which was bright white, like a sort of B&M Bargains 10 quid tree. You with me?
Not a real tree.
Not a real tree.
Not an organic.
Not a big sort of Christmas tree. Just a sort of shit.
It was white.
Yeah, bright white.
Well, all white. The tree, the trunk branches.
Yeah. The whole thing was white. It was like you'd have in a Christmas tree in your house or whatever. It was like that. And so he walked me over to that, and we hung James's name on it, and then he said, "I'll put the lights on for you." And then he walked over and turned the lights on. It was like a fucking disco. It was just going mental. This tree just flashing like different coloured lights, like strobe lights. It was just the least reverent thing I could have been doing. It
didn't start playing jolly Christmas music or something, did it?
No, but it wasn't far off that. But it did make me chuckle to myself.
So they don't have candles.
No, but they do have a very cheap, very luminescent, very irreverent tray that lights up and flashes. It was funny. I thought you'd laugh, but you didn't.
Well, it's a bit, given the circumstances.
No, true, but I did think, James would have found that funny, to be fair.
Good.
It was me trying to have a reverent moment, and it turned into fucking Boogie Wonderland. Are we really going to talk about Christmas?
It was your idea. I've got loads of stuff.
Well, let's do the other stuff.
Oh, all right. We can do Christmas stuff later, can't we?
Fuck Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can you're...
All this needs is me just putting some sleigh bells on the theme tune. Done. Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an absolute whiz with all the...
Oh, absolutely.
all the stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
2022. Well, I mean, you're not much of a fan of 20th century poetry, are you?
Some of it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, a bit of Wilfred Owen.
Yeah.
Siegfried Sassoon.
Yeah, powerful stuff, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not much... I mean, anything that could remotely be called modernist or experimental, that's not your...
Not necessarily.
Well,
We like the Beatles. But you mean poetry?
Yes. Poetry rather than pop music, Dave.
Fuck off. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm certainly not a fan of T.S. Eliot.
Well, yes, I've heard you speak quite dismissively of him.
No, he's an anagram of toilets, and I think that's where he belongs. Let's not have this palindrome argument, because you're wrong.
It is a... no.
Of course it isn't.
It's not in the sense that it reads the same backwards, but in the sense that...
Well, that is a palindrome. That's by definition, you twat.
I didn't say it was a palindromic word. I said it was...
The things we have arguments about for 10 years. Go on.
T. Eliot is toilet backwards.
Yeah.
And there is a palindrome that begins with T. Eliot and ends with the word toilet.
Right.
And somewhere in the middle it's got drab bard.
Right.
That was all I meant, but you
didn't. You kept insisting that T.S. Eliot was a palindrome.
Well, I said, or at least meant, that it could be used in a palindrome.
You didn't say that. That is not what you said. I'm calling Kaz now. Back me up.
I don't think we were being...
At her child's christening, we were arguing about this.
Was it then? Oh, yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you writing it down on a...
Yeah, to show you that it wasn't a palindrome.
Yeah, well, I was just maintaining that it was toilet backwards.
Okay, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
T.S. Eliot is how he's known.
T. Eliot.
Right, but that isn't his name, is it?
That's why they... Well, neither is T.S. Eliot. It was Thomas Stearns Eliot.
Well, that's T.S. Eliot.
Yeah, he called himself T.S. Eliot. That's like me saying, my name is not W. Jessup. It's W.G. Jessup.
Well, that is how he's known.
Yeah.
That's how he branded himself, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
With his red hot poker, yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't call himself T. Eliot, did he?
No, but in this... But it's legitimate to call him that.
I don't think it is.
For the purposes of... Well, you're shifting your argument now.
Yeah, good old E. Cummings. He was great, wasn't he?
Well, that would be just...
J. Tolkien.
That would be just as valid.
George R. Martin.
Yeah, he could have been G.R. Martin.
He isn't, though, is he?
Well, you can call yourself that, but it doesn't mean that you're...
Sake.
Look, nobody got my permission to call me Mr. W.G. Jessup on my debit
But you
card.
didn't write that on a book cover and sell yourself, and every piece of work you've ever published, which is 0 currently, but if you were to do so and called yourself W.G. Jessup, then it'd be weird if someone suddenly referred to you as W. Jessup. It's like J. Tolkien.
No.
Who does that?
Not all that weird.
It is.
Anyway, for the purposes of this palindrome, should we look it up? Actually?
The things we argue about.
I think I have looked it up.
Good,
and
well
found
done.
it.
But that isn't the point you were making.
And it is.
Well, you made it badly,
T.
then.
Eliot. I think you'll find you weren't paying attention.
I was just outraged that you're calling him T. Eliot, because that isn't his fucking name.
Neither. Well, it was along with T.S. Eliot.
Come on.
I mean, I could call you D. Culling.
Right, but my point is... Oh, forget it.
Exactly. Your point is not worth making. What is your middle name?
John.
Oh, yeah. So, DJ Culling.
DJ Culling in the house.
In the house.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, David, I think after the Doctor, because they couldn't be bothered to think of a name, and then John after my dad. Whereas my brother was James Nicholas Culling.
Oh, what was that?
2 names they'd actually thought about.
Was that after anyone?
No, don't think so.
there
I think
an
it was just
uncle?
like, oh, those are nice names, whereas mine was just that'll do.
Oh, well.
We were knackered by that point, probably couldn't be asked.
The younger one. The second one is always a bit of a...
The other one, as I was known throughout my childhood.
Affectionately, I'm sure.
Yeah. You do look back on it and think, yeah, it was affectionate, but at the time you thought of a bit,
They didn't actually refer to you as that.
My dad always called me the other one.
James and the other one,
yeah.
tea's ready.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, isn't it sweet?
Well, it's obviously scarred you emotionally.
Yeah.
But hey ho.
Hey hum.
Anyway, getting back to T.S. Eliot, it's 1922 was the year that it is the centenary of the publication of The Wasteland by S. Eliot. Or T.S. Eliot, or Tom Eliot, or Tommy Eliot, or the Elmeister.
Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah, well, he's quite often referred to as Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
The F is often left off.
Is in your life. Go on.
I mean, when you're not the most practical of people...
Yeah, for you, that is an achievement, isn't it?
Well, I've never claimed to be able to, I don't know,
assemble a piece of furniture.
Paper. I've never tried. I've screwed on a few toilet seats.
Have you?
Yes, and they didn't come off.
Well, they must have done, otherwise you wouldn't have been screwing on a few of them.
No, I mean, when one had needed replacing, I was able to get them and put the screws in the right place.
Oh, well done.
And then, sat on them to make sure they weren't wobbling all over the place. And gave them a good tightening with a screwdriver, and there they were. Oh, admittedly, I've never changed a plug, but you don't have to do that really nowadays, do you?
Not as much as you used to, no.
Have you? Have you done the trimming the outer and brown at the top and blue underneath and the stripy one?
Why are we having a sort of alphaing one another, changing a plug?
I can change light bulbs.
I mean, fucking anyone can change a light bulb. You pussy. Right, go on. Speaking of pussies, Possum's Book of Practical Cats. Go on. 1922, The Wasteland. What's your point? Get to it soon, because I'm cutting all this.
Just that there's been a lot of centenaries.
Well, there's a lot of centenaries every year, one assumes.
No, but particularly because 1922 it was the publication of The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot and Ulysses by James Joyce. Yeah.
Not a fan of either.
Have you read either?
Yeah.
You haven't read Ulysses?
No, I haven't read Ulysses.
Yeah.
But I've read bits of it and thought, this isn't for me.
Yeah, but you must have read The Wasteland. It's not that long.
I have. My brother studied it at school. So I had to tolerate it. Like a shit.
Yes, David. Quite.
What is your point?
In 1922, the British Broadcasting Company was formed. It was after the general strike, actually. I think in 1926 that it was incorporated by Royal Charter, which means
if you're still awake at home, get on with it.
Which means I don't know what. But it's very important. That was when it became the British Broadcasting Corporation. Right. Not just a company. Yeah. It was incorporated by Royal Charter, and that's why the charter is renewed every 10 years or whatever. Yeah. Yep. So this is the 100th birthday. This year has been the centenary of the BBC. Right. So they've been doing lots of archivey stuff, haven't they? And all that, and lots of looking back over and the bits have turned up in people's attics and from all over the world. Somebody's granddad died.
Didn't you find one, or someone you know found one?
Well, they have found what is possibly the first. This is where James Joyce comes in. They found what was believed to be the first radio discussion of Finnegan's Wake.
Okay. Do we need to know a little bit about Finnegan's Wake, do you think?
Well, I'm sure you need all the background information we can fit in.
Go on.
Well, it's the novel that James Joyce wrote after Ulysses. He was at work on it for 17 years.
Christ.
It came out in 1939, I think a few months or weeks before the outbreak of the Second World War.
Yep, probably set it off. Yeah, go on.
Anyway, they found someone had a tape recording of the forerunner of the arts programs. They didn't.
Do we need to know that Finnegan's Wake has a certain style to it? Do you think, for our audience to get this?
Well, this is mentioned on the.
Okay, fine.
Well, no, all right. I'll read a bit. It's probably
I think that would help.
This is the opening few lines.
Okay, hit us with it, mate. Yeah.
River run past Even Adams, from swerve of shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious vicus of recirculation back to Howth Castle and environs. Sir Tristram Violet d'Amores, for over the short sea, had Passancourt re-arrived from North Armorica on this side the scraggy isthmus of Europe Minor to wield a fight his peninsulate war. Nor had Topsawyer's rocks by the stream O'Connie exaggerated themselves to Lawrence County's gorgios, while they went doubling their mumper all the time. Okay, that's the opening.
Yeah, total shit. Yeah. Did it go on like that for the whole book?
Well, this is a shortened version.
But does it go like? Does it ever stop being like that? Normal.
The intensive experimentation of, I mean, I suppose for a lot of people, including you, and probably most of our listeners, the concepts are just too difficult.
You fucking knob.
But as I believe,
he does not speak for me, dear listener.
As I believe this is a public service podcast.
Yes. Disservice. Yeah.
Then I think anyway. So I thought we should. I know it might not be funny.
We've got it on sort of reel-to-reel tape, haven't we?
We've got it on. No, well, I've managed to transfer it. I'm not a complete technological.
Oh, okay. So we can just play our listeners that interview now.
We can just play the listeners that from 1939 from a programme they had called The Reading Room.
Okay.
Good evening. This is The Reading Room with Alistair Mild. 1939 has not been a terribly encouraging year. The economic slump barely recovering, unemployment barely pulling its socks up, and of course the war. What a lot of us could do with is a good book to keep us pleasantly or usefully distracted for a while. While some favour a detective story, others incline towards a tale of adventure. Others relish comedy. There are yet others who favour what one might call the difficult. Such discerning readers might explore the works of Lawrence, Richardson, Lewis, Stein, Hemingway, or perhaps James Joyce. 17 years ago, Mr. Joyce gave us Ulysses. Now he's given us Finnegan's Wake. Those who found his last offering rather difficult to follow after the first few pages might find themselves even more puzzled by this, his latest work. Here to discuss this remarkable new novel is Mr. Adrian Stern of the Literary Chronicle. Mr. Stern, what do you think of Finnegan's Wake?
I'm very much afraid that Mr. Joyce has taken literally the idea that modern writing is all nonsense. This book, this thing, is quite literally nonsense. He begins with a made-up word, made of two words run together, and he begins his opening sentence with no capital letter. Oh, punctuation doesn't matter, they cry. The please-yourself-anything-goes modernists. But then after this uncapitalized open word, he puts a comma. A comma, so punctuation is relevant all of a sudden. And he ends this novel, if such we may call it, without a full stop, preceded by the word the. Mr. Joyce, either punctuation is necessary or it is not. As for the words and the syntax, well, Mr. Lewis Carroll exhausted the potential of nonsense in his Jabberwocky in 3 short stanzas. Mr. Joyce asks us to be amused by such wordplay for 500 or so pages. I weep for a world in which such nonsense can be taken for profundity and art.
Well, clearly not the book you'll be settling down with after Christmas dinner, Mr. Stern. Well, perhaps Mr. Joyce might hope for a more favourable view of his latest work from our other guest, Professor Stanley Unwin. Professor Unwin, what do you make of it?
Well, with all due regard of Mr. Stern's respectables, I had say he sticky grips the wrong ends, ways and means. Mr. Joyce, in preciduous book Ulysses, penly described a whole dablin, both intestine and outerly, into Mrs. and Pandoricon. One bubbling 24 hour, yet what flickers and flashes, flowings and flowerings he bids us follow. But whereas in Ulysses, no shame's choice did tellings of day life, wake life, now in this tome of night life, slumber light or heavingly, he does the tellings, does them all from legendary end to nihil animus begin again. As you expectantly, in dream time, Logwidge and Langic quite Proteusly cholter, expending and countertracting as thoughts metamorphoses. So in one Morpheus night of bye-byes, all humane history is recyclitated from fall of giant to turn of wheel, like corpse rot to soil flower, or sea cloud to rain river. Deep Joyce, a real page-turner.
Well, that's given us all something to think about, and perhaps to chat about over our festive turkey or goose. It remains only for me to wish all our listeners a Merry Christmas.
Merely crumbles.
Last Scotch, please.
So it's, you know, our 25th podcast, as it were, anniversary, and it's also, of course, 25 years since the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. And just thinking back about, you know, the 25 years since Diana and the 25 podcasts that we've done, like a lot of people, I feel that Diana's story, you know, quite weirdly paralleled mine, my story. Well, especially specifically with this podcast, because when we started, when we started, it was all, you know, all new and everything, and I was kind of, I was new to all this podcasting. I didn't know what was going on, and it was a bit like Diana in the early, you know, back in 1980, 81, the days of, you know, when she was first, when, you know, before the engagement was announced, and she was suddenly thrown into this world, and she was kind of, you know, a bit shy, but you know, full of vitality and all that, and I think I was a bit like that. I was basically naive going into this podcasting thing, and then, you know, after a few years, you know, it was obvious that, you know, she started to gain in confidence. People started to love her more, and she really, you know, it was nourishment to her, that love, and it was like, you know, with our followers on the podcast, you know,
both of them,
I felt some real validation, and then, you know, with Diana, of course, there was the, you know, she realised that she was living a lie, and that, you know, she was being controlled, and, like, you know, her voice was being controlled. She was she had this amazing platform, but she was effectively gagged, silenced, and it was, you know,
how does that relate to us?
Well, I remember, you know, that it sort of happened, like they say, gradually, and then suddenly I realised, you know, that you were, you know, because you were editing these things, you were literally controlling my voice. What I had to say had to get past you. You know, I was out there, I had this amazing public, but I couldn't always tell them what I really needed to tell them, wanted to tell them. And I remember thinking, well, you know, like Diana, when she did the interview and she said that, you know, that line that will echo down the ages, there were 3 people in this marriage, and so it was a little bit crowded. And I thought, there are 3, in a way, there are 3 people in this podcast. There's me, there's you, and there's your controlling ego. Really. And then, of course, you know, we know what happened with, you know, Diana. She made her break, and then she was pursued literally to her death in a Paris tunnel.
And the relevance of that?
Well, that's where the fucking analogy breaks down, isn't it? Duh, brain.
I think, is it not also the 25th anniversary of us sort of ish knowing each other?
1997, it is, isn't it? Yeah. See, I remember when, you know, the first shows we did, and I was in this, you know, new world. It was all very.
Oh, fucking hell.
No, I can't make that one fly.
I do remember a rehearsal that we had, like very, like 1 of 2 or whatever, and thinking, yeah, this person can make me cry with laughter.
Ah, who was that?
You, love.
Oh, that's nice. I remember you jumping over a chair in a rather blatant display of sort of, well, you know, like the way gorillas, is it? You know, indulge in displays of virility to.
Oh, really?
To make sure that they're the.
That you knew I was
the leader of the pack.
Yeah, because I'm just so like that, aren't I? I'm just like that.
No, you did. I remember I sometime later, tried to jump over the same chair and
fell on your ass.
Well, no, I did knock the chair over. I didn't quite clear it. I didn't go sprawling on the ground.
That reminds me of when we did The Winter's Tale.
Oh yes.
And you had to come on. No, yeah, was it The Winter's Tale? I think it was. And there was a sort of chair in the wings, wasn't it?
In the very dark, pitch dark wings.
Yeah.
And there were quite a few of us back there.
The best, but you hit it on the way on.
Yes.
Then did your bit on stage, and then you hit it again on the way off.
Yes, and you all heard the big clunk as I exited, and all
but
had
you'd learned nothing from hitting it on the way on.
It was still pitch dark, wasn't it? I knew roughly where it was. I suppose I could have tiptoed
it's
round
so good.
it.
So good.
Well,
funny times, funny days.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so I mean, probably about a year before that must have been the time.
1996.
It was the first time that my mum met, well, my now ex-wife, but was my girlfriend at the time, Alison. Right?
Oh yes.
So the first meeting. Now Ali.
95.
Yeah, 95 probably. Yeah. So, and Alison's cat had been sick.
Sorry, do you mean it had vomited?
No. It had been ill. It'd been ill.
But that gave us something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So there wasn't an awkward silence.
Now, so the first meeting took Ali back to my mum's.
Right.
Now we sat at the dinner table, right, having dinner.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
What question do you think my mum asked Alison? Asked my partner. What do you think she would have said?
Do you want to say that again so you can?
Yeah.
So you
What
can
question? What question do you think my mum would have asked my partner, my girlfriend?
What do you see in him? He's not inheriting any money, you know.
Yeah. What's the point of this? Right. So what she actually said was, "How's your pussy?"
Yes, meaning the cat.
I know, but it was like she was auditioning her. I mean, what a thing to ask. I laughed. I hysterically, of course, and then my girlfriend was just kicking me under the table to shut me up.
Did she manage?
Yeah, she managed to answer. Yeah.
Did she manage not to laugh?
Yeah. She managed not to laugh, whereas I was just howling, as you can imagine.
Didn't your mum laugh? Didn't she realise?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, surely she must have.
She must have done.
Mrs. Slocum's pussy.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, what a fucking. Oh dear God.
You know that SMRA? No, not
ASMR.
ASMR. Not that there's the disease, isn't there? MRSA. Mm-hmm. That's the disease that you can get. And it's bad.
From whispering into a microphone.
Yeah, whisper it. And it seemed to emerge on the internet, I don't know, 5 years ago? I thought it was a joke.
If you were doing ASMR, what would you do?
Well, what, it can be anything.
Well, go on, do us a bit.
Of what? You just, well, no, you lick your lips or something.
You're trying to get me off to sleep. Go on.
I don't know, it might come out creepy.
Go on.
I just sound like a slightly breathless psychopath.
No, they say things, don't they?
I thought it was just noises like somebody eating crisps.
No, I think it's more like what's restful about someone eating crisps? That'll get you off, won't it? Fucking hell.
They do. Yeah.
I dozed off immediately as soon as someone chowing down on some Golden Wonder.
I've seen on programmes on the electrical television. No, well, on the Saturday morning, Sunday morning cooking programmes. And there's, they'll say, just for a jokey bit, they'll say, "Oh, and now guess what I'm eating here?" And now somebody.
Yeah, but that's not ASMR. Well, it's more like, "Hello, I hope you're okay. I'm just trying to soothe you off to sleep.
I'm just trying to enter your nightmares, so that you'll never sleep soundly ever again.
I'm in the cupboard."
Yeah, I mean, what?
Cupboard. I'm in the wardrobe. I'm in the cupboard next to the baked beans.
In your kitchen bedroom. Times are hard.
Right. When we last did a show together, or maybe the time before, you were
the Queen
obsessed with a song. No, I'm not talking about the Queen. You were obsessed with a song called "God Bless America."
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, I first heard about it when it came on in an ad break in a documentary I was watching about the Queen. It was not long before she died.
Oh, fuck off. Don't drag this back to the Queen. Go on, God bless America.
Oh, yes.
Go on.
Well, it's a sort of... I believe Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I suppose you find him boring and irrelevant.
Not boring, I find him hideous and abhorrence, yeah.
Yes. Although he was elected.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So was Hitler.
I can't well, yes, but he rigged the elections.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, well, it's a very posh. Posh? It's not posh.
Not posh at all. What are you talking about?
It's patriotic. Yeah,
Yeah.
Donald Trump has it as his as his music when he gets up on stage at his rallies, which seem to be well attended, and.
Yeah, so go on with the song.
Yeah.
We
What,
know
you want
about
me to
Donald
sing
Trump.
it?
No, well, tell us a bit about it.
Well,
you were singing it for about a month, obsessed with it. Like you get obsessed with little things. Like that. Go on. You know you do. Go on.
Well, the video tells a story. You remember that? It seems to be set in the South. And
Give us a blast of the song.
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And then or at least I know I'm free, and I'd proudly stand. No, and then it goes on to, and I'd proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. For there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Awful.
Yeah, well, you've seen the video.
I've seen the video, you
Yeah.
silly sod, but
Yeah.
people at home haven't, have they?
Oh, well, it seems to be set in the
Come into the mic a bit.
somewhere in the
go. I
in
can
one of the
hear you.
southern states.
Yeah,
and
Texas,
he seems to be a farmer. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to be a farmer, and it starts. Well, I'm sure everyone can look up. I'm sure everyone is already looking up the
Terrible song.
the lyrics. It starts off. Anyway, it seems to be telling the story that they're selling the farm, and he has to go off with his family, his wife and 2 kids, and possibly a dog or 2. And they sort of sail off across what looks like a desert into the sunset, but it's all right because it looks as if they're having a family.
It's a confusing video.
It looks as if they're having a family party, as if they're all relatives, a sort of Whistler's mother type.
Yeah.
Old woman comes in, and there's and then he's the sort of main character of the song, who I think is played by the singer, whatever his name is. He's sitting next to another young bloke, and they're looking through a photo album, and they come upon a photo of the other guy in military uniform, and then the main character sort of suddenly looks at him in surprise and reverence. And,
I didn't know you were a vet.
Yeah, and I think he's made him shake his hand and that, and it sort of looks like a family reunion. But then we see that they seem to be waving him off in his Jeep or pickup truck,
singing in their house.
Well, no, and then there's a sign saying, sale, business failed. Auction today, and so these other people seem to be the people who are moving into the house he's had to leave because his business has gone tits up. And he's made his family and himself homeless,
Right.
So they're going off to live in a I don't know, I may have misinterpreted.
No, it is weird. It's confusing
but
because he's so friendly with these people. You think they're his family. Trying to cram a jammy dodger in your face when I'm trying to get you to speak. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Why do you think Donald Trump chose it as his
Because he's a fucking idiot.
theme music?
Because I suppose it's catchy. Because you made me sing it, and someone who'd never met you before at a murder mystery.
Did they?
Yeah,
Who's that?
Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay. Yeah.
You were singing it all night at people.
Not at people.
You were.
Just while.
And then she'd never met you before, and she went home singing fucking I'm proud to be an American or whatever.
I'm proud to be
an American. I love this land of
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
No.
That's the last.
Oh yeah, that bit, but that's what I'm saying. The first line.
Why don't we play it for our...
No, just give us the lyrics and we can sing it.
For our grateful lyrics.
For our grateful listener.
And
I'm proud to be an American, 'cause I love this land I love.
Where at least I know I'm free.
Where at least I know I'm free, yeah.
I'm producing a lot of discharge.
I'm producing a lot of discharge.
Fucking...
There's blood right in my wee.
Oh, sorry, I missed out the U. I'm proud...
What did you type in? How did discharge come up?
I'm prod. I'm producing a lot of discharge. Here we are. I'm proud to be an American. So, look at there. See, first comes up the
fucking hell.
The flag. It appears. The first album it appears on is his Lee Greenwood. Lee Greenwood's album, 1984 album. You've Got a Good Love Coming. I've got a good love coming.
But you're producing a lot of discharge. Lyrics. Why didn't you just type in lyrics?
Oh, that's an idea. Well, because I couldn't remember what the title was. I couldn't remember what the title was. Oh, lyrics. There it says it. If tomorrow all...
No, I'm not bothered about that bit. The chorus.
Well, just for background, if tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife.
Yeah, bad luck. Fucking hell. I have to put up with them three. Oh, Jesus.
It sounds like I'd put her on the game and send the kids down the mines.
He doesn't sound thrilled to be married and with child.
With just my children.
Yeah.
I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Who's they? 'Cause you be damn sure as hell they want to take it away. That's why I've joined my local militia. And I'm proud to be, an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Well, I don't know what song this key is in, but it's locked. It's like Bliss is here. Is she coming today? For our Christmas special. Well, we just eat Jammy Dodger.
We'll call this the Jammy Dodger episode. Well, it is the Christmas episode, isn't it? And they are red in the middle.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, they look like a little... They could be a little round lump of snow with a bit of blood on it. And what could be more festive than that?
More Christmassy than that image. You're a fucking maniac.
Oh, yeah.
Is Bliss joining us? Who's joining us? Who's our special guest this week?
Well, Stanley Unwin. We heard from him earlier.
Yeah. I feel we're slightly shortchanging our listeners if we don't have some sort of guest. And they'll both be livid.
Okay.
Have we got one?
Well, you know... Where there's a bliss, there's a
Have you got something?
There's a project.
Before we do that, speaking of the monarchy, Will.
Yes.
If out of all the monarchs in history, assuming you were bisexual, which monarch would you sleep with? Are there any?
Well, I mean, you know, the one who just popped her clogs in her prime was. Although I prefer Margaret, really. Young Margaret.
She looks a bit more like a bloke, doesn't she? That's why you like her.
I wouldn't say like a bloke. They both looked a bit, I don't know, a bit Mediterranean.
Right, so the dead queen, but when she was young?
When she was about 30.
Right, okay.
Maybe 25.
Yeah. Is that it? Out of all the monarchs in history?
Well, they're the only
Were any
ones
of them
if I was
sexy?
But if I was bisexual, is this British monarch?
Yeah.
But no, but
Edward VIII.
Edward VIII.
As a young man.
Edward VIII. I don't know.
No, none of them. Princess Anne.
Ooh,
Queen Anne.
Oh, not Queen Anne. Princess Anne.
Princess Anne.
When she was young.
No.
Oh, that rather large-lipped, horsey look.
The description is so bad.
But I like that.
I know you do. Do you like weird-looking people?
But the horse in it. There's something a bit.
What?
She might. I don't know. She might.
What? Want a sugar lump? What?
Well,
She might chow down on an apple.
Give her a nose bag, or she might be up for saddling up. If I got her a nice, not a real horse's saddle, a nice, very light one, but it looked.
But your cock went through it. What are you talking about?
What?
Oh God, he's picked up his glasses.
What is it?
He's holding them like he's making a really important point, and he's got a jammy dodger in his other hand, and just dropped it on the floor like a twat. And now he's trying to reach the fucking thing. I can't see any of him. I can't see his face. I can't see his back now. He's gone so low to get this jammy dodger.
Keep up the commentary. we don't want to lose the listeners.
What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Now, speaking of films, because we haven't got longer. Speaking of films and Christmas, a lot of people, well, certainly in my generation, were very excited to watch the new, instalment of Star Wars. Say, now you've seen Star Wars, haven't you?
Twice.
And you didn't understand it, did you?
Well, neither time. I mean, the first time I saw it.
What's to understand? It's a fucking film for kids. I mean, it's such a simple film. Why didn't you understand it?
Not that simple. I mean, all right, it's simple. There's goodies and baddies, but I remember just thinking there's too much flashbang wallop.
No.
Things flying through the. I remember thinking in my 8-year-old way.
You're such a strange little boy.
Come on, I want some
nuanced characterisation. Mater, what have you brought me to? This isn't the Nash.
No, well, I don't know. Well, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that I was too mature for it or anything. I just didn't find it. I didn't quite get who they all were.
What's to get?
Well, they were all
There's an evil empire. Darth Vader's an evil guy.
There's the Empire.
There's the rebels against the Empire.
The rebels. But I wasn't too sure if that, Well, I sort of got they're rebels, so that's... But like the...
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, but like...
Goody.
But the rebels aren't necessarily the goodies.
Well, they are the goodies, aren't they?
Not in the American Civil
you
War.
weren't happy about fucking... Oh, they're saying bad things about the Empire, Mater.
No, I'm just saying the rebels, it depends what you're rebelling against, doesn't
Well, they were rebelling against the evil Empire, of which Darth Vader was a member.
And I didn't get him either, Darth Vader. I thought I was expecting him to be the chief baddie, but it seemed to be this old bloke who I later realised was Peter Cushing. Darth Vader just seemed to appear in his all his big black looming capiness and hold someone up by their neck. Yeah, okay, that's fairly
bad
scary.
person, yeah.
But I couldn't really work out what the fight was about, what the war was about. I was quite impressed by the bit where
people rebelling against the Empire, who were sort of autocratic.
Well, yeah, but they
what? they did a lovely line in House Slippers. What are you talking about? They brought order,
They made the trains, the spaceships run on time.
They did, yeah. They built the Autobahn. Bless them. It's such a strange thing to me that you don't get it. I mean, it's such a simple little film.
It's such a simple little film.
It is.
What you've got what look like humans.
Yeah.
Then you've got.
Oh, you didn't get that in Star Trek, did you? Or Doctor Who?
No, at least
there was never ever Doctor Who alien that just had purple eyebrows or something.
There were some humans. Then there was Chewbacca.
Yeah,
was meant to be
a Wookiee,
sort of giant dog.
A giant dog.
He was a sort of bipedal dog. Bipedal dog.
He's a Wookiee.
What's a Wookiee? That wasn't. I could have done with it. They could have.
You wanted a glossary,
an information booklet of some kind. And the
Princess Leia.
Yeah, now Princess Leia. She's a princess, but she's on the side of the rebels. She's a rebel princess. Is she?
She is. Yeah. That's why her home planet gets destroyed.
But I mean, the rebels in the American Civil War weren't the goodies.
Oh fuck! You were thinking this at 8, were you?
Well, no, probably not. But
well, you might have been.
No.
Between bouts of staring at empty swimming pools. You fucking weirdo kid. Do we have a guest this week, Will?
Just putting in some background. Yeah, well, I believe Bliss is not averse to...
Oh, is she here? Oh, here she comes. Hi, Bliss. You pal. Hello, Bliss. You okay?
Hi, yeah.
Yeah, did you have a nice Thanksgiving?
I don't always celebrate Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I feel it's been kind of imposed by society, which is basically patriarchal.
Mind the radiator.
Yeah. I notice you English people always put your radiators in, like, real awkward places.
Oh, yes, it's my fault.
You know, the world of business, I think, you know, people always think of it as a very masculine kind of world. I don't think it's as simple as that.
No.
I think the whole idea that you can't be a spiritual person and a holistic person and just an all-round person with many facets, many faces, so many faces that, you know, from a distance you might look almost spheroid. But when you look close up, you can see there are surfaces, there are spheroids, and they're not...
Okay. Spheroids?
No, I'm sorry.
You just made up a word.
Confused. I had to. No, I just got to pick up my prescription later. Spirituality isn't like that.
Okay. Bit lost, I'll be honest.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's how it often feels for women in the world of business.
Right.
The
so
point is,
you were out of your depth, is what you mean.
No, I didn't say that.
Sorry.
Don't put words into my mouth.
Okay, sorry.
I believe you like...
Put a gun in your mouth? Go on.
I believe you like putting words into people's mouths.
Okay, go on.
Anyway, what I would like to talk about is...
Oh, God, is that not what you wanted to talk about?
No, I have a new product.
Oh, okay.
There's so much I like to talk about.
Why are you doing this again? Are you just getting sued? Why have you got a new product going?
It's complex.
Okay, go on.
David, it is complex. Okay, David? If our listeners are going to take away one thing from this, I like it to be authenticity.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Everyone else is taken.
Live in your own selfhood, your own reality, your own authenticity. Now, you may notice that I like the concept of holisticism, however you like to call it.
Yeah.
What I have is a revolutionary new product.
Well, hang on. Have you just come on in shilling for something?
Shilling? What are you talking about?
Is this just an advert with you talking?
Well, you wanted me to talk about my business.
Go on.
Now,
go on, far away.
And I was just explaining that I can't because we've got a lot of ongoing issues.
Right.
But
this isn't part of your business. This product.
Oh, it will be. It will be. Right. It will revolutionize
the world of
skincare.
Far away.
It is called authenticity. It's kind of it's an all-purpose lotion. It's not just a lotion. It's a soap. It's a bath salt. It's a shower gel. It's a body rub. It's a perfume. You can also use it as
a moped.
A dermal enhancer.
Okay.
It acts as perfume, deodorant, antiperspirant, and you can also put it in those. You can also use it in oil burners. You can lie in a bath with your authenticity and the smell of your authenticity rising around you.
But isn't it flammable?
Well, it won't be, no.
You said it could be used as an oil burner.
I said it will, yeah, well, it can be heated and, like, give off, fumes.
Well, it's fucking flammable then, isn't it?
Well, no, it doesn't burn. Oil burners don't burn.
What?
Well, this one won't.
What?
This one won't anyway. Look, please don't...
Just cover yourself in authenticity, but don't go near a fucking match, for Christ's sake.
Anyway...
Human Torch. Go on.
Anyway, at the moment, it's a concept.
Oh, you haven't made it?
It's a design concept in progress. We've got a lot of people working on it.
Who? Are any of them chemists?
There are chemists involved, yeah.
Who? name them.
I can't name them. Don't be like faux naive. You know that is not how it works. You've heard of industrial espionage?
Yeah, okay. So, right, you are paying chemists to come up with this thing.
There's a lot of testing going on. They're being tested on willing human subjects. No animals are being hurt.
Oh, just humans?
Only humans.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
And for a lot of them, a lot of our test subjects, it is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, they'll fucking die.
No, they're almost certain not to die. It would be very unlucky, but if they did...
I think you're heading for a fall. I'm a bit worried that this is going to lead to another string of lawsuits.
We're all heading for a fall. No, I think I've said it all now. I think the word is out there. That's all I can do.
Okay, so that's the next venture.
There are a lot of ventures. I just want people to be able to sit in their authenticity
and burn. You like being a martyr, don't you?
Joan of Arc was a martyr.
Yes.
Jesus Christ was a martyr.
Yes.
I'm just some girl trying to get through life. Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye, Bliss. Well, that was nice, wasn't it? Well.
You're right.
Well, yeah, mate, you're right. Has she gone?
Yes, she mumbled something. She went...
What was that?
Well, it might have been goodbye.
Right. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and lovely to hear from you. What am I talking about? Don't fucking know.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll be back in the new year.
And we'll be back in the new year.
For more absolute shite. Well, yeah. Oh, do you need to set it up? Oh, dear.
Come on.
Have you found it, Will?
I thought I had. Patreon. No, that's not the fucking...
Will's trying to find an email, just so we know.
Where's that?
Like someone who's never read an email.
Fuck off. I just don't often do them on this device.
Do you need help? You'd rather die than get me help from me, wouldn't you?
No.
You're such a nana.
All I'm trying to do is have some fun.
I've got a feeling you're not the only one.
I want it to be all the, the sent emails, old emails.
Yeah, where are they?
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying.
Do you need help to get into the sent items folder?
Yes.
Right, show me.
What
the fuck is that?
It's AOL.
Right, we're there. So now we go there and we go to sent. Gosh, that was
How did
complicated.
you find them?
Well, if you're not in your fucking emails, are you, spanner? You're just looking at the house.
No, I went to that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go to that menu there.
Oh, all right. Yes, it's all right. Well, when you know that it's that little fucking liney thing. we can all be wise after the event.
Right. Have you got it yet? Fuck me.
It's all very well when we know what we're doing.
Isn't it?
Here we are, 1939 interview. Right. Here we are. Right. So, forward.
This is painful listening, isn't it?
Forward. Come on. Right. 2.
I'm going to stop.
No, was it Dave?
The listeners don't deserve this.
What is it? Dave Culling at?
D. Culling.
D. Culling.
Music. Good evening. Just my little voice. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Mousy.